A very good evening, everyone. Welcome to the session. Um, can I just have a good evening from everyone? Can I just listen to a good evening from everyone, whoever is in the session? Okay, those who cannot speak can write in the chat
Good evening,
box.
sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, finally, yes. So today we all have gathered over here as to maybe discuss. I don't want to call it as a training session because here today we are going to decode the behavioral issues which we come across as educators in the classroom while dealing with the students. So we will decode and we will find out solutions by discussing with each other. Okay, so it's a training come, what do we say? A discussion sort of session which we are going to have today. So, but for that, what do I need? I need the complete cooperation of you all. And how am I expecting you people to cooperate with me? I am expecting you people to just be interactive. There is nothing much to do. You have to just be interactive. You have to speak to me. You have to talk to me. Then the session is going to be a successful session because speaking about behavioral issues, there is no point in having a beautiful PPT on the screen. Rather, it should be understanding the scenario and situation of each of the teacher and trying to give the solutions. That's how it is. So before we get into the session, for those who don't know me, I'm Ravikant Perukulambil, Master Trainer and Founder Director at SNTTC, that is Sri Narayani Teacher Training Center. And I am also a Global Ambassador and Master Trainer of AIEF, CBSE Resource Person, and Principal of the Lyceum School, Hyderabad. So now let us get into the actual session. The session is about behavioral issues in the classroom and what type of interventions are to be followed. I would really be thankful to you all if you can kindly turn on your video because I wouldn't feel as if I am somewhere in a Greek and Latin country. Yes, thank you, Manoj sir. Because yeah, when we have people in front of us, that would be more easy for me to identify whether you people are understanding or am I supposed to like make it more specific with regard to some topic. Yes. So yes, thank you everyone. You all deserve a star. Yes. Now let us start decoding our behavioral issues. As educators, what are those behavioral issues which we come across when we are teaching in the classroom? Each person can give me one.
Hello.
Yes, Manoj sir.
Yes. Yes. First of all, a lot of talking is going on in the class. You
Lot of
find
talking.
students,
Yes.
in the sense, not all, but a few students seem to be talking among themselves when you're teaching, and that really upsets the teacher also. That is one issue.
Okay. Mm.
And then you find also in some scenarios where you're teaching like you're teaching a subject and students are doing work or completing homework of some other subject. That is also a common issue.
Oh, working on some other subject.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, next. Thank you, Manoj sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Let me
Yes. Okay.
give you a star for your uh, interaction. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Now, let me go to Punita ma. What are the behavioral issues
Yes,
that
sir.
you come across other than what Manoj sir has said?
Sir, some of the students are hyperactive, whereas others are very, very slow and least interested in completing their work.
Okay, hyperactive and very slow. Okay, very good. Next, ma'am. Madhupriya, ma'am, would you like to give some, uh, uh, would you like to add some sort of behavioral issue, please?
There is too much of distraction. They are more worried about what is happening outside the class
Distraction.
instead
Okay.
of what is happening inside the class.
Yes. Okay.
Lack
Wonderful.
of focus.
Lack of focus. Very good. Ruchika ma, would you like to add something to this? You're on mute, Ruchika ma. You have to unmute yourself. Vincent sir, would you like to add something? Okay. Nidhi ma'am. Yes, Vincent sir, please.
Good evening, sir. Can you
Yes.
hear me? So
Yes,
some
yes.
students they have a lack of means they don't have any basic idea about the concepts. So they will more distractive in the classrooms.
Okay. Lack of basics. Fine. Okay. Great. Thank you, sir. Nidhi ma'am, Nidhi Bharadwaj ma'am. Would you like to add something to this? Okay. Sundar sir. Anyone else? Archana ma'am, would you like to add something to this? What are the basic behavioral issues we come across in classroom as educators?
So I just joined, but actually, it's like I won't be able to comment right now because I'm out of school for about 6 years now. So, and I
Okay.
just
Okay, you can also share with us what you, as an educator, came across when you were a teacher.
okay. That time, behavior issues were not so much about 10, 12 years ago. It was much better. But today,
Okay.
a lot of pampering is going on. Parents have become extra protective about their children. So, the equation is quite different. But that particular time, yes, there were some children who were not up to the mark, and it was very difficult to drive the point home with them. It was basically more of understanding problem, not so much of a disciplinary problem when I was a teacher. Uh,
Okay.
and mostly I taught in schools where there were girls. So again, it wasn't very tough. So those
Okay.
kinds of issues, yes, like basically understanding issues were there, and sometimes I mean they would not submit work on time. So they were not very big problems when I was teaching. Now I see that scenario is very different.
Okay. Okay. Parina ma'am, what behavioral issues you come across as an educator?
Their refusal to note down in the classroom whatever the board it is being written. They say it is given in the book. Why do we need to write again? This
Okay,
is
running notes.
one
Children don't take
attitude.
running notes.
They have developed that.
Okay. Done. Next, anyone else? Nandita ma'am, would you like to add something to this?
Yes, sir. So I teach English, and
Okay.
what happens in the higher grades is that students have a very they have this idea that this subject is not that important. There is math, there is science, all these things. So over the years, because I have taught them the same batch for quite a few years, so they have become familiar with me. I have become familiar with them. So I know how to navigate this in the classroom. But other teachers, they have often complained, especially in the higher grades, that students don't pay attention because they do not think it's a
Important
it's a
subject.
important enough subject. So they will start doing homework of math or science or all these things when we are not looking, and this creates a huge problem because at the end of the day, English is the language of instruction. English is also the language in which they will write their exams. And if they don't culture or nurture the subject, then it becomes an issue. Most of the times, I have been fortunate, I will say, in many ways, that my classes have been more or less interactive and I have had their attention. And I also am a very strict teacher. So that also plays a part. But yeah, this is one of the challenges I think that language teachers face, especially in the higher grades as you go higher up.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Nandita ma'am. Anyone else who would like to add one more? We have 7 behavioral issues that we have come across. I need 3 more, 8, 9, and 10, so that we can, like have a wonderful, session today. Anyone else who would like to add the problems, behavioral issues that we come across as educators in the classroom other than these?
Class bunking, sir, like many a times children do not come to school. That also has been brought to my notice when I was a principal. So
Bunking
children,
class.
they leave home to come to school, but in between they disappear. That
Oh,
is a big problem now. Yes, yes.
okay, okay. Next, anyone else? Marina ma'am, what are the behavioral issues which you come across as an educator in the classroom while dealing with students? Okay. So let me once again, repeat the behavioral issues which all of you have shared. First one is talking a lot. Second one is working on some other subjects. Third one is hyperactive and very slow children, 2 different contradictory type of students. Distractions, as in what is happening outside. Lack of basics. Due to lack of basics, they don't understand the concept and they tend to disturb. Refusal to note down the running notes. Lack of the knowledge of the importance of subjects, I should say. Bunking classes. Anything else? Are we missing anything? No other behavioral issue?
Overconfidence. Sometimes the children, they think that they know everything, and they will not pay attention in the class.
Okay, overconfident students. Wonderful. Next. Anything else?
Sir,
Are we missing
some of the children are very destructive.
destructive in the sense?
They will break somebody else's pencil, tear off pages,
Okay, okay,
destroy
fine.
school property, etc.
Okay, very good. Now, now let us start decoding or, critically thinking upon these behavioral issues which we come across in the classrooms. The first one, yes, Nandita ma'am.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, these days, children also take up private tuitions.
Okay.
So what happens is in the private tuitions, these topics are already covered, or they are ahead of what is happening in the class. So what they do is, when they come to the class, they are not interested in any more explanations, and this is across all subjects, not just English or Hindi or math or science. Across all subjects, they go for tuitions, and then they will know the concept, but then they will because they are no longer interested, what they do is they distract the students around them, and they say, oh, I have notes, I will give them to you, don't worry, no need to bother. That is also an issue.
Okay. So children who are taking extra support outside the school, they tend to
Mm,
disturb the people at school. Yes, very
correct.
good.
Yeah.
Fine. This is also a burning issue.
Yep.
Now let us start slowly decoding each and every point that we have discussed. The first one is talking. So why children tend to talk in the classroom when a teacher is teaching? So let me give you a few points. First thing is, either the child is not interested in the subject, that particular subject. Second thing is, the student is not finding the class interesting that particular day. Okay. And third thing is that no proper classroom rules are set. Am I right? Do you accept with me? Do you accept what I have said?
Yes, to somewhat extent, yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, to some extent. So now the first thing is that lack of interest in that particular subject which the teacher is teaching. So in NEP 2020, it is clearly mentioned as to ensure that the students start loving and understanding the importance of each and every subject. We have to identify the underlying intelligence of the students. it is very important that we identify the student as to which multiple intelligence concept he belongs to. Few children might be auditory learners, few children might be kinesthetic learners, few children might be natural learners, few children might be logical mathematical learners. Am I right? So before we start the academic year, okay, in the initial 1 week, we need to conduct a multiple intelligence test in a class for all the students, and we have to identify to which group this particular children belong to. And while the teacher is planning for the lesson, he or she has to ensure that he or she is integrating those learning styles of the students. That is when the child find every subject interesting, because there is something of his or her interest and taste in that particular subject. Also, we spoke about lack of interest in the subject. We spoke about lack of interest in classroom. So we have to ensure, depending upon the age group of the students. See, now at foundation level, we go with toy-based learning. At preparatory level, we go with activity-based learning. In middle school and high school, we go with experiential learning, because students learn while they are doing. Am I right? So we have to ensure that we are going with a planned activity into the classroom, so that children are completely concentrating in the activity rather than talking to each other. This also can be a very good solution for the classrooms wherein we find children talking a lot. And what was the third point that we have discussed? What was the third thing that I was mentioning? Lack of interest in subject, lack of interest in the classroom. And one more thing I have said. Who will tell me? The person who reminds will get a star.
Contradiction, something you said.
No, no.
No.
For this talking thing.
Acha.
Who will tell me?
Sir,
Manoj sir,
lack
this is a
of
point
interest,
given by you.
lack
So
of
you should have
context.
listened to the third, reason that I have mentioned.
Doing homework, doing some other work, or maybe not finding the subject important, as suggested by Nandita ma'am.
Exactly. So maybe if the subject, the child finds that the subject is not so important also, he might talk to the, what do we say, peer group people. So the proper planning of teacher to get into the classroom with, good activity or things that would create interest and trigger the fun element in the classroom would always help in reducing talking. Okay, this is one thing. And always remember, one very big mistake that we people do as educators is we don't use the transition time properly. Okay, imagine, can we sit at home for more days? Who will tell me, can we sit without doing anything, without going to school? Is it possible for us to sit at home without doing any work, not getting out of the home? Is it possible?
No.
No, isn't it? So how can a child who is coming around 8 a.m. in the morning can be expected to sit till 4 o'clock in the evening constantly at the same place? Maybe he might be moving for washroom, he might be moving at the time of lunch, he might be moving for games period or lab activity and all. But remember one thing, the maximum time for a person, especially students, to concentrate is just 15 to 16 minutes, isn't it? Though there is a very big, what we say, research going on this, the maximum attention span for children is 16 to 18 minutes, not more than that. Am I right? So what are we supposed to do? We have to ensure that the transition period from period to period, the transition period which is there from one period to the other period, has to be utilized to ensure that the children is not getting bored. Children are not getting bored. So we have to plan for a small recreational activity which is of just 2 or 5 minutes. Okay, maximum 2 or 5 minutes as soon as we go into a class. By this, what happens is, first thing, they are coming out of the mood of the earlier period. They will start afresh. Do you agree with me? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, they will start afresh, first thing. And second thing, what happens is they will start building a very good rapport with the teacher. Always remember, students love those teachers who always try to do something new in the classroom and add some fun in the teaching. So these, what we say, things which these small things, if we can plan and do in our classroom, that would really help us, to stop this talking of the students in the classroom. So how many of you agree with all the points which we have discussed with regard to the first behavioral issue, which is talking in the classroom? Hope you are all okay with the, what do we say, points
Yes.
discussed and solutions given.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Manoj sir. Moving on to the second point. It is working on some other subject. Now, there are two aspects here. First and foremost thing is that, are we following a proper homework schedule? How many of you follow a homework schedule? Like every school might be having a homework schedule, right? Daily we give mathematics and one language or some other core subject. This way, two homeworks. Isn't it? Hope everyone is following. Can I have a thumbs up or yes in the chat box immediately? Those who are following. Yes, very good. So first of all, in case a child is constantly trying to work on some other subject, immediately we need to speak to the parents. There might be several reasons. The first reason could be the child bluffing at home, stating that there is no homework. Okay. Second reason can be that the teacher has given lots of homework and the child didn't find ample time to complete it. The third reason can be that the child or the family, okay, they might have gone somewhere in the evening and they actually, ignored doing the homework. So, who gave this point to me, working on some other subjects?
It was me, sir. Manoj, sir.
Okay. Sir, so have you ever tried to check with the child and the parent, as in why the child is working on some other subject during the classroom interaction?
Well, actually, most of the time when I ask the student, they don't reply back. So I presume that they know that this homework is something that they should have done it yesterday at home, but they were simply lazy. And when in the morning they come in the school, they realize that yes, that homework is pending. So then they start doing it. It's usually, I'm not sure about other subjects, but I've caught them doing it in my subject.
Okay, is it mostly physics, maths, or science that they are doing?
Yes, no. In fact, even I teach English, so it pertains to even Hindi, Marathi, or science and anything that's
Okay.
there.
They are doing like that only in my class.
Ruchika ma'am, your voice is cracking actually.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Students are doing.
Okay. So there might be one more reason. I got.
In my class standing because.
Okay. So there might be one more reason, that when the homeworks are about the core subjects or the difficult subjects for the students, what happens is they don't know how to solve these homeworks at home, and they're coming to school and they're taking the help of their friends to solve these homeworks. This can be one of the major reasons. In such point of time, like Manoj sir has very well mentioned here, I am getting one more input to give a reason for this particular issue. If the children are not answering back to you, sir, there can be two reasons. One reason can be that the children are frightened to accept the truth, especially in front of you. Second thing, they might be also feeling a bit, what we say, uncomfortable sharing the truth that that particular subject is difficult for them.
Okay.
Hope you understood what I said.
Correct.
So now,
Yes.
And especially this happens with the students of 6, 7, 8, 9.
Correct. Exactly. Same.
Exactly.
5th, 6th, 7th.
So, 6, 7, yes. So these are the children who are into adolescent group. Okay, they are just into the age of adolescence. And what happens, because they are into teens? Okay, so what happens is, after going home, either they are distracted, or they are distracted in the classroom and they are unable to concentrate, and that's the reason they are not understanding the concepts and they are unable to do the homework. So this is a very big issue. If this issue is not addressed properly, there might be problems in future. So whenever you come across children talking are much better, sir. But children who
Okay.
are doing the homeworks of other subjects, definitely they will face problem in future. So this issue has to be solved on a lighter note, very soberly, by trying to become a very good friend of the students, trying to understand what the problem is exactly. It can be anything. The major reason will be not understanding the concept and taking the help of the friends after coming back to the class. And the children who are doing this belong to mostly the average group of children. You can tell me yes or no.
Yes, correct. Most
Yes.
of them, yes, 60,
Most of them
70%.
are of average group. If a child who is above average level doing this, he might have some other problem like going out, not getting time and all. Okay, so mostly the children who are the average and below average group, they don't understand the concept, so they tend to take the help of the friends in completing the notes. So in this case, not only that particular teacher, but also the teacher who is teaching that subject, that homework subject also should involve here and try to decode the issue and immediately address this. Yes, Ruchika ma, please. Ma'am, you are not audible properly. You can write in the chat box, ma'am. Yeah. Okay. So hope I have addressed the second point properly, working on some other subjects. Great. Thank you. Can I get a thumbs up from everyone? If we could decode it properly. Yes, Punita ma.
Sir, sometimes the students give the lame excuse that they have done the homework, but they have left the copy at home.
No, that is a lame excuse actually. It can also arise as a reason which they want to, like quote just to hide the truth. Okay. But however, this issue has to be properly understood. Okay. And the second point is hyperactive and very slow children. So this is the point given by Punita ma. Okay. So these children there are children who understand every concept but not interested in writing part. True. There are children who don't find writing interesting. Okay, that is also there. Hyperactive and very slow children. Now, one thing that we need to understand is these children whom we are terming as hyperactive, they are kinesthetically intelligent. They need lots of work to do. They are very sharp. So what are we supposed to do is that we have to indulge these children in constant work. They are becoming hyperactive because their energies are not properly channelized. So how are we supposed to channelize their energies? As I have told you, as soon as a teacher comes to a classroom, there should be a recreational activity. Okay, for 5 minutes at least, so that their energies get channelized properly and this hyperactiveness becomes a bit low. Okay, and in the case of the children who are very slow, same here. Okay, these children, they need lots of push, and to push these children, we have to ensure that they are also very active by conducting recreational activities. And I can give you one more tip for this. In case your period is for 40 minutes, after every 20 minutes, okay, ensure that you are giving a break for 2 minutes. In this break, you can ask them to do something funny. Touch your feet, clap your hands, stand up and sit. Okay. such sort of stuff. You can do such sort of things so that children, energies of the children will get properly channelized and they concentrate. As we have discussed earlier, children can concentrate maximum only for 16 to 18 minutes. So after that point of time, we have to immediately do something and get them back onto the track. Otherwise, they will be indulged in their fancy world. They'll be thinking something else. Okay. So hope we could decode this issue properly and we got a good solution for that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Next one is distraction, as in what is happening outside. So distractions are very common. One thing that we need to do is we need to understand why the child is getting distracted. The first reason can be of the same thing which we have quoted in the earlier point, talking. Lack of interest in the subject, lack of interest in the classroom, not finding the classroom, like funny and enjoyable. That can be the reason. So for this, what are we supposed to do? First and foremost thing is creating a classroom environment. Okay. How many of us try to change the seating arrangement of the classroom at least once in a week or as per the requirement of the topic? Are we really doing that? Can anyone give me yes or no? Yes. Radhika ma'am says yes. Okay. So seating arrangement in classroom should be changing every now and then. So what happens is the children don't tend to distract with the seating arrangement, and ensure during the seating arrangement that all the children are facing you rather than getting a chance to peep outside the window. So plan for a seating arrangement that way. And of course, whatever you do, if the class is not interesting, children will get distracted because they are finding something else interesting outside. Okay. So the same way as I have said, we should understand the underlying intelligence of the child, and then we have to plan accordingly and go with a wonderful activity into the classroom. Along with that, for this particular issue, wherein children are trying to peep out of the window, we need to always have a specific seating arrangement in the classroom, which also can change from chapter to chapter or every week or as per the requirement of the topic. That would really help in stopping distraction of the students. Hope this would be useful for you people. Can you give a thumbs up if you feel that we have decoded it properly? Or a yes or no? Yes. Thank you. Now, we are going to the fifth point, lack of basics. Yes. Children who lack the basic or fundamental ideas about a subject, they get disturbed and they disturb others also. So what are we supposed to do? We can do nothing about it at a very short span. Take my words. We cannot do anything about these children at a very short span. So we should have a long-term goal for these set of students. Right from the first day of the class, we have to assess whether the child is reaching the minimum levels of learning as prescribed for that class or not. Okay. And then if needed, we have to schedule remediation classes for these particular children so that they meet the minimum levels of learning and the prescribed academic standards, and then they start concentrating in the class. Otherwise, everything would be Greek and Latin for them. Whichever subject it is, it can be a core subject or it can be a language. So for this, there is no other solution. Constant remediation should be there. It might take 6 months or else in worst cases 1 year also, depending upon in which class the child is studying. So if we come across children who are lacking basics and constantly disturbing others in the classroom, immediately we have to go for a remediation session for these children. In case you feel that we have decoded this issue properly, I want a thumbs up or I want a yes or no from you people. Okay, thank you. Moving on to the next point. Lack of the knowledge about the importance of the subject. So how many of you are language teachers over here? Can you just turn on your videos? All the Manoj sir. Okay, very good. Archana ma'am is a language teacher. Punita ma'am is a language teacher. Anyone else who is a language teacher? Nandita ma'am, Uma ma'am. Very good. Okay. Now, can you people tell me why have you chosen this particular language to teach? Let me start with Nandita ma'am. Nandita ma'am, why have you chosen to become an English teacher?
So honestly, because I love the subject. I love literature. I love exploring, human emotions. I love talking about them. All of that.
So, what was that spark in that subject which made you to love it?
Essentially, my love for reading.
Okay,
That is number one, and definitely my own teacher when I was in school. Yeah.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what is that particular element in your teacher that you started loving that particular subject?
I think when we were younger, we were fascinated by the depth of knowledge our teachers had. So
Exactly.
whenever she used to speak, we used to be enthralled because she knew so much. In my eyes, she knew so much, and she could articulate so well. Whatever it is that she was speaking, she ensured that we responded, we
Yes.
understood and we responded. So, it was almost like she was speaking individually to each of us. And
Okay.
because, I was more inclined to the art subjects, I found her class really, really nice, really good.
Great. Great, ma'am. Manoj sir, can you
Okay.
add something to this?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Actually, for me, I've completed. I was in the science stream, so uh, the other subjects were there. I studied those subjects too, but I feel that the reason that I chose a language because I feel that uh, every student should know a language perfectly. It really doesn't matter which language, because teaching a language is really a challenge. Okay, it's not just like you teach some theorems or some scientific principles and you're done with it. There is reading, writing, and you should know how to speak, speaking skills, and all everything. So, I feel that a student should, without languages, I feel a life is not my when I was in school, my teacher used to say this, that without languages, life is not possible. So I think you should know a language perfectly if you want to express yourself and all that. Somewhere a command over some language is necessary. So I think it's a challenging job.
Exactly. Very good. And it's not easy to learn any language.
Correct.
We are
Exactly.
seeing
Yes.
children who are literally struggling to communicate properly in one particular language. Even
Correct. Correct.
communicating in mother tongue has become,
A big problem. Yes.
difficult for the students these days.
Mhm. Correct.
Okay. So, yes. Now, let me tell you a universal truth, especially in case of languages. This happened because they don't have that taste towards language. They don't find words interesting. They don't find reading interesting. They don't find what do we say, literature interesting. Okay, because they are completely into logical, mathematical, or scientific intelligence. Okay, in a very rare case, we find this combination together. Okay, so what are we supposed to do? We have to go with an interdisciplinary approach, first thing, or art integration. Always try to do languages through art integration. It can be performing arts or it can be what we say, visual arts, whatever it is. I believe performing arts should help more in teaching language. Skit or a drama or what do we say, nukkad natak, such sort of things should really help. Now if the question is about how do we create content through experience, teachers can actually even write dialogues for students, for the basic stories also. This way what happens is children find interesting, and you can very well accommodate the students who are kinesthetically intelligent also. This is the only solution that we have got as to indulge students in who are not interested in languages in language room. That's how it is. So art integration should only help us to deal with such sort of students. And also there is one more thing, like Nandita ma'am has said very well, it all depends upon the teacher. If the teacher is able to take that, taste of that particular subject into the students, definitely any type of student can, literally, love the subject. Let me tell you, I am a social teacher. My major is social, minor is English. Okay. I love English and social. Other than that, as I am a person who belongs to Telangana, though I am not a Telugu person, I am a Keralite basically, and born and brought up in Telangana. Okay. I love the Telugu subject a lot. And let me tell you, I have got the same reason as Nandita ma'am. It is because of my Telugu teacher. Though I have learned the subject in 7th grade, I could perform very well in my 10th grade because of the support of my teacher and the way she addressed me and my issues with regard to that particular language. It is always the teacher who brings about a transformation among the students with regard to one subject. It all depends upon the teacher. How interesting are you making, and how well are you connecting to each and every child in the classroom? Hope I have addressed this properly. Yes, Punita ma'am.
Yes, sir, very true.
Yes,
Sir,
yes.
Sir, very well said. I also I was interested in this English subject because of my teacher and my professor. I wanted to be well versed like them, and who used to command great respect around them.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Punita ma'am. Now let us go to the next point, which is overconfidence. It is a burning issue these days because for everything there is one thing called as Google Baba. Am I right? Isn't it? There is
Yes,
lots
correct.
of information on Google, and that is the reason most of the students are very much overconfident. Okay. And how are we supposed to address this? They should know the importance of the teacher, not just as a subject matter expert, but as a person who understands the student. Children are overconfident only to prove that the teacher is wrong. They always tend to find out the mistakes of the teacher, or they always tend to solve the problems before the teacher and prove to the teacher that they have done it before. They're better than the teacher, or they're better than anyone else in the classroom. So these are the students who are basically attention grabbers. Now, if you try to suppress these children, you are not going to progress as a teacher, or you are not going to succeed as a teacher. Only thing is that you have to ensure that you accept their superiority. Yes, you have to kill your ego. You have to encourage the student, and you have to appreciate the work of the student. That is when this particular child is going to come on to your track. If you try to overrule the child, or if you try to suppress that particular child who is trying to seek attention of everyone by being hyperactive or by being what do we say, overconfident, that child starts hating you, and this hatred will move on further like that throughout the lifetime. Even we remember those faces of teachers whom we have hated a lot, isn't it? Am I right? Yes. So we have to ensure that we are dealing in a very sober and very, strategic manner with these particular students. Okay. And then overconfidence can be, an outcome of one more thing, that the teacher lacking knowledge. If the teacher is unable to give proper answers to the students while they are asking doubts, that also leads to overconfidence among the students. One reason. And second reason, If the children are coming with lots of knowledge into the classroom, the teacher should ensure that he or she is throwing more critical thinking questions at the students so that this reduces this tendency of being overconfident among the students, but never try to insult the child. Hope I have decoded and addressed this issue also properly. Yes, Nandita ma'am.
Yes, sir. So, very interestingly, I had a child like that. You know, he was extremely intelligent. He read a lot, and no matter what the issue was, he always had something to say. But you're right. He would actually sometimes challenge my position in the class and state his points, whatever it is that he has to say. So, in one parent teacher meeting, I had spoken to the parents, and I realized that he has been like this since day one. In fact, they called him a child genius or something. And yeah. So, next time, what I did was when the new session started, I told him that, you know, you come prepared with this particular topic. I gave him a grammar topic. You come prepared with it, and you are going to conduct a 10-minute class with the students, right? And he was thrilled. He was thrilled. He stood up, he near the board, he ensured that he used the board and he got the attention of all the students. There were a few who were sitting and giggling because they couldn't understand what he was saying. But it did two things. You know, it gave him a taste of what it is for the teacher who is standing and teaching them. And secondly, it also showed him there are areas that he doesn't know where he needs the help of the teacher. And since then, he has been a wonderful team player, you know. So that really helped, really helped.
Exactly. So we have to ensure that we are creating a situation and a scenario in such a way that the child doesn't feel interesting. He should feel the teacher is supportive indeed. Okay. That's how it is. Very well done, Nandita ma'am. It was a very, I should say it was the need of the hour, which whatever you have done. Yes. So moving on to the next part, destructive students. These children are kinesthetically intelligent. So as I have told, we should have the transition activities from class to class. Okay, for destructive students. And then private tuitions is a burning issue. Again, as we have discussed, the students who are going to tuitions, they are coming and disturbing the classroom. Then what are we supposed to do? We have to go with much more information into the classroom, which is not available with those particular students. Okay, so we have to be, what do we say, proactive. We have to be proactive. We should have that complete stats as in what can this child ask. And we have to go with some more deeper knowledge into the classroom so that we can have control over these particular children as well. So I believe we have had a quality time today by discussing about the behavioral issues which we come across in the classroom as educators. And this is where I really want to conclude the session for the day. Thank you one and all for joining. And before we conclude the session completely, I would like to share the link of the webinar group in the chat box, wherein we keep updating our daily webinars. So the people who wish to stay informed about our daily webinars can join this particular webinar group. Yes, Archana ma'am.
So, sorry, I'm taking the last few minutes.
That's
Actually, whenever we have any problem in the class, it's because children do not understand the importance of the topic. I'm not taking any particular subject, but children are to be told first. You know, what I've noticed is that teachers, they go to the class and they start teaching. They say, today we are going to do this, and they start off. I, as an educator, feel that before we take up any topic, whether it's science or social studies, we must make the children understand why are we doing it, and then we get onto it. So probably that could be a reason why interest is not inculcated. It has to be generated.
True, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful point.
Thank
Now,
you.
yes, coming back to the session again. So I would really like to listen to the feedback of you people, which would really help me in coming up with much more interesting topics in future. So I would really request you people to come forward to give your feedback for today's session. Anyone?
Extremely nice, sir. Extremely good, because this is actually what teachers face today, these kinds of problems, behavioral, academic. So it's good that we are all discussing all of this, so that, everybody gets to know that they are not just the only ones who are going through it. We all have some problem or the other. So it's good that we share it on this platform. So it was a very, very enlightening session, and we could understand, we can empathize with each other that, okay, you too and me too, we are all into it. So thank you so much for this.
Thank you, Archana ma'am. Yes, Nandita ma'am.
Yes, sir. I think this session, one of the most important things that this session did was to look back at us ourselves, introspect as teachers. What are we doing or not doing to ensure that there is classroom discipline? I think, yes, children are, they are inattentive. Yes, children lose focus. Yes, they are this and they are that. But at the end of the day, I think, a large part of it depends on us, how we manage the class, how much interest we are able to inculcate in the children and inspire a love for the subject. So all of these, I think we should look inwards rather than looking at the child as to what is wrong there.
Exactly. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Nandita ma'am. Yes, Punita ma'am. Yeah.
Sir, I must compliment you on this session that you have taken. You have an exceptional talent in decoding the issues that very patiently you did today. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you,
Learned
Punita
a
ma'am.
lot. Learned a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else who would like to give your feedback? Yes. Thank you, Anita ma'am. Thank you, Vincent sir. Manoj sir, how have you felt about the session? Yes,
Good.
because
It was nice. The last thing was very catchy. What ma'am said, that yes, instead of looking outwards, I think much of it 50%. It also depends upon us how we make the session classroom, the subject more interesting. And, I feel that if we are prepared well for the class, I think no student, everyone will be interested, and it will be a very good period also for everyone. So I think we should start looking inwards.
exactly.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So now, once again, I would like to share the link of the webinar group for you people to join in case you want to stay informed about the webinars which we are conducting. And the people who wish to grab a certificate for this particular session needs to pay 50 rupees, which is 5050. Okay. And the phone number is 9908925730. So this is the number. You can do either GPay, PhonePe or Paytm to the same number and send a screenshot of the payment along with the complete name as you want on the certificate through WhatsApp to the same number. And you will be receiving your certificate by tomorrow morning or maximum by tomorrow evening. So don't be very hasty to receive the certificate because they are all manually generated. Okay. So you will be receiving by tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening. 24 hours is the maximum time which we give to generate the certificate. It's the IT person who do this basically. That's how it is. And we also have our Train the Trainer session, which is starting from tomorrow. So people who wish to become a trainer and add the title trainer to your profile can join this course. And those who wish to know much more details about it can call me or ping me on the same number. So that's all for today. I believe we all have had a wonderful introspection about our own classroom management. And I believe this session is going to bring about a change in each one of us and our classroom management. Thank you one and all. Looking forward to have you all in the upcoming session as well. Good night.
Thank you, sir.